Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Dion here. Welcome back to Swimming in the Stream News. It's a new year. Hope everybody's been great. I'm back to give you some news. The first streaming platform we have is Netflix, and the first story I have here is that Netflix says Murder Mystery was the most popular 2019 release. So, according to this article, they're saying that Netflix is only taking the first 2 minutes of the movie or show on their platform and looking at that data alone. So it's really not indicative of like if someone's watched the entirety of a movie, the entirety of a show, or an episode, or whatever it was, to see if that movie or show is the most popular on their platform. They're only taking the first 2 minutes of the property to look at. So according to the first 2 minutes, according to the insider, there's an insider that gave him this information on how Netflix calculates this for this article, the LA Times, and they're saying it's just first 2 minutes. So according to this, Murder Mystery was the most popular release in 2019. So that's very interesting. And it's interesting that it's the most popular on there because if we go to Rotten Tomatoes, now Rotten Tomatoes is not the definitive way to look at movies and the ratings and stuff like that. But if you go to Rotten Tomatoes to look at the audience and the tomato meter, the critic score, it's a 44 splat for the tomato meter and a 41 bad movie, I guess, for the audience score, just looking at Rotten Tomatoes by itself. And that's very interesting. Even though Murder Mystery was the most popular, it didn't get the best reviews for the movie on Netflix. But it seems like Adam Sandler movies do well on Netflix, it seems like. Obviously, I mean, well, granted, they're only taking the information for the first 2 minutes. So people were very intrigued on this movie and decided to watch at least the first 2 minutes anyway, according to the news article. So that's very interesting to see. I think we're going to discuss more about the most popular shows and everything on the actual main Swimming in the Stream podcast for y'all. So the next news story we have is Netflix claims The Witcher is already one of the most popular shows of 2019. So Netflix released a list of the most popular movies and shows on their platform, and The Witcher already hit number 6 on most popular shows or property on Netflix. And that's very interesting since this is one of the latest properties come out and is already one of the most watched things on Netflix. According to the other article, and we are applying it to this one, that they're only taking the first 2 minutes maybe of the episode 1 or something like that. But they're saying it's one of the most popular ones to watch on Netflix. And I have finished The Witcher. I do recommend you watch it. If you like Game of Thrones type things with swords and shields and kingdoms and battles, this also has a lot of monsters in it and a lot of more fantasy elements in it. If you like that type of stuff, I say give The Witcher a shot. I would say the first 2 episodes are kind of rough to understand, but once you get through first 2 episodes and to episode 3 and onward, the show picks up and is spectacular in my opinion. But yeah, so Witcher is one of the most popular shows out here on Netflix anyway. And I think it's very good. If we go to the tomato meter, so the tomato meter is a good tomato with 65% for the critics rating and a 93% for a good popcorn, I guess that's what it is, for the audience score. So the show has, for the critics anyway, is pretty much a good show, and the audience is really liking it, according to Rotten Tomatoes. So I think the show is doing very well with this rating so far. I know there's some controversy between critics not really liking the show or whatever, but it seems like according to Rotten Tomatoes, the critics liked it as a good show, not a perfect show, but it's a good show. It's above average show in my opinion, and the audience is really loving this show. And I think, in my opinion, I really like this show. I say recommend to go watch it. So the next news story I have is, if you enjoyed The Witcher and already watched it, or you're going to watch it and you want some more content on in the Netflix Witcher universe, Netflix has a official podcast you can listen to out here, and it's basically a podcast about behind the scenes of The Witcher, on how they created the stuff, the decisions they made, and stuff like that. And I haven't listened to the podcast yet, but it's if you want more of The Witcher and to get the feel on how they created these things, where they pulled stuff from, I believe, go ahead and look at this podcast. I think it's the behind the scenes podcast for The Witcher. I guess you can go ahead and look that up and you can find out more of The Witcher. And other news, The Witcher is getting renewed for a second season, but it's going to be in 2021. So if you want more of The Witcher, 2021 is when the show will be back. That is a long time, but at least we know we are going to get more of The Witcher. So that's a good thing. All right, so we're going into Hulu for our next streaming service. The first one we have here for Hulu is Midnight Kiss. Hulu breaks new ground with gay slasher movie. So the synopsis for this movie that they give is a slasher movie in which a quartet of Los Angeles gays men are picked off by a masked killer during a weekend trip to Palm Springs. And this is part of Hulu's Into the Dark series. I believe this is produced by Blumhouse Pictures, I believe. And really the only ratings I could find for it was on IMDb. And right now for the audience is at a 5 out of everybody who voted. It came out to a 5 out of 10. That means it's average. It's okay. But it seems like it's taking all the tropes and whatnot of a normal slasher movie and replacing it with gay men. And that seems like an interesting thing. I wonder if they're going to try to do this more. I know Into the Dark is more of like a small scale experimental type horror movies. I haven't seen this one yet, but I've seen about at least 4 of the Into the Dark movies on Hulu, and they're quite interesting to watch. So if I get around to watching this one, it might be interesting. But it's an okay slasher movie. It seems like probably not doing anything groundbreaking. It's just fun to see different type of gendered characters in these roles and dealing with these situations. So if you want to watch it, it's on Hulu. I believe it's on there now. You can go watch it and see if you like it. So in other big news, we now know that FX content is going to Hulu, and this article is going to, I think, answer some of the questions probably some people have on how this is going to work with FX and Hulu. So they're saying that the core of FX network will remain, but there will be a new thing where FX on Hulu is a thing where they're sharing resources and having cross-platform development for their shows and I guess any movies or anything they want to do. So they're pretty much like crossing their subscribe. They're trying to get Hulu and FX customers, I guess, try to get them all on the same thing, kind of, I guess. And that's a smart move. There's a lot of FX fans out there, so if you can get them on Hulu or something like that, that would be very promising. And they're also saying a bulk of FX existing library will be on FX on Hulu upon launch. And it seems like FX will be debuting new series exclusives on FX on Hulu. Starting with Breeders and Dave will be on March 2nd. Miss America will be on April 15th. And the shows A Teacher, The Old Man have yet to receive streaming dates as well. And they're saying this FX on Hulu will not come at an extra cost for existing Hulu subscribers. Those that already pay for the service will not face any additional charges. Hulu currently offers an ad-supported option for $5.99 per month. Ad-free tier for $11.99 per month. If you already have Hulu, it seems like FX on Hulu will just come with Hulu as an extra package. And then you'll get also exclusive streaming shows from FX to go to Hulu. So it seems like a pretty good deal. And I think they did just up their prices on Hulu. So this is also, I guess, just another added bonus if you to try to keep people on Hulu since they just upped the price of it. This seems very promising. I do like FX shows, and to see them now going to a streaming platform like Hulu for existing customers already, that I think that's great. So we have other news that Melissa McCarthy joins Nicole Kidman in 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu limited series by David E. Kelly. So 9 Perfect Strangers is based on books by the creator who did Big Little Lies, and it seems like the synopsis they gave here for this article is the series takes place at a boutique health and wellness resort that promises healing and transformation as 9 stressed city dwellers try to get on a path to a better way of life. Watching over them during the 10 days retreat is the resort's director. I believe the name is Masha, and this is going to be played by Kidman, a woman on a mission to reinvigorate their tired minds and bodies. McCarthy will play Frances, one of the 9 Perfect Strangers. So this seems like it's going to be one of those, I guess, feel-good type shows, maybe? I'm not sure. But it's cool they got Melissa McCarthy on board to join the cast of 9 Perfect Strangers. So if you're looking forward to 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu, Well, I hope you like Melissa McCarthy because you're going to get her in there. You got Nicole Kidman also, so that's a really good cast so far, in my opinion. But that's all for Hulu. We'll go to the next streaming service. So now we're going into DC Universe streaming service. And the first new article we have is that the finalists of the DC Universe DCU Unscripted to be announced this month. So it seems the finalists for the DCU Unscripted will be announced on January 24th in a special episode of the streaming service DC Daily Weekend News Show. So the submission window for this was October 3rd to November 18th. And if you don't know what it was fans encouraged to submit unscripted TV show pitches. So we'll soon be seeing who are the finalists for their scripts, for their pitches on what type of shows they pitch to DC, and we'll see what type of creative talent we got in there. It'd be interesting to see. So January 24th, we'll see and check back to see what they got. So if you're ready for Titan Season 3, we got some other news for it. So it's saying that reportedly Titan Season 3 has cast Roy Hopper. And if you don't know who Roy Hopper was, and if you don't know who Roy Hopper is, he is in the comics, was the sidekick for Oliver Queen, aka Green Arrow, and he later switched his name to Arsenal. And he is also featured in Young Justice as well, and he's included in Justice League and The Outsiders as well. So it's very interesting to see what they're going to do with this character if he is cast for Titan Season 3. I guess this just adds more superhero fun to Titan Season 3. So we'll see how and what they do with that. I haven't watched Titan Season 2 yet, so I'll get through that. Obviously, the show is doing well if it got Season 3. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. But that's all for DC. We'll go to the next streaming service. So next is Amazon Prime Video, and Midsommar is now available on there. And it is a horror movie and directed by Ari Aster, who this is his follow-up from Hereditary. And if you're a horror fan and you haven't watched Hereditary or Midsommar, I recommend going watch both. But I say Hereditary first. Midsommar, when I watched it, it gave me I really struggled watching this movie. Struggled in a horrifyingly good way, in my opinion. It was very uncomfortable when watching it in the theater. And it's great that now it's on Amazon Prime Video, so more people get to watch it on streaming wise. So if you haven't watched it, I say go watch it. It is quite uncomfortable. If you're a horror fan, I think you'll enjoy this one. So it'll be a horrifyingly fun, uncomfortable watch, in my opinion. But it's on Amazon Prime Video now, so you can go and watch it. So the next news story we have is Jordan Peele's series Hunters sets premiere date on Amazon Prime Video. So this article is saying the highly anticipated series Hunters from creator David Well, executive produced, Jordan Peele will premiere on Amazon Prime Video on February 21st. The drama series stars Al Pacino in his first television role in decades. The original synopsis released by Amazon reads. So the synopsis reads, inspired by true events, Hunters follows a diverse band of Nazi hunters in 1977 New York City who discover that hundreds of escaped Nazis are living in America. And so they do what any badass vigilante squad would do. They set out on a bloody quest for revenge and justice, but they soon discover a far-reaching conspiracy and must race against time to thwart the Nazis' new genocidal plans. Wow, that is a very, very interesting premise in my opinion. I think the people behind it and the people in the show look great, and they have already released a trailer for it. And I think this is going to be a very interesting show. Hopefully it is a really good show. I'm excited to watch this. And this comes out February 21st. So if you're interested in it, we're getting it February 21st. So that's great. So this next news article is saying Amazon Prime Video is going to reboot Spanish series The Boarding School. So it says the original series ran for 7 years until 2010, follows students at a boarding school who uncover a host of mysteries and secrets. The original cast included Blade Runner and No Time to Die actress Anne de Armas, I believe. Sorry if I butchered that. And it also says the new series will take place in a school for problem children located next to an old monastery in an inaccessible and isolated spot between the mountains. So it ran for quite a while. Yeah, so if you know about the show, they are bringing it back. I'm guessing maybe they're getting a new cast of characters and whatnot. So I might go and actually watch the original because I do like this premise, and I've never heard of this show before. And it's getting another season I'm guessing with a new cast of characters and a new location. So that's unfortunate for people who are fans of the old show. But you're still getting, I guess, something out of the universe. So that's good. But that's all for this news article. And all for Amazon Prime Video. We'll go to the next streaming service. So the next we have is Disney Plus, and we have the first news story we got is now that The Mandalorian over, people are canceling Disney Plus subscriptions. So according to this article, it's saying that there is after The Mandalorian ended, reports they're hearing that people are canceling their subscriptions after Mandalorian. On the article, they have a series of tweets from people who also are saying that they are canceling their subscription. But I think this is pretty much a no-brainer that people are canceling their subscriptions to Disney Plus after The Mandalorian, because Mandalorian, I think, overall was a success, and people are raving about it. Well, the fans are raving about it anyway, and I think it did well with critics. But seems to me to be like a Game of Thrones type effect, that it's a big thing that people come and subscribe for a few months to watch the show, and then they drop their HBO subscription or whatever, in this case Disney Plus subscription, and just and waiting until the new season comes out or something big comes out. Because right now I don't think there's anything really big like The Mandalorian was on Disney Plus to have people stay. But Mandalorian did get greenlit for a season 2 and is coming out in 2020, so people can look forward to that, and Disney can look forward to getting more subscriber boosts when Mandalorian comes back out, unless they have something else to come out to have people jump back on for new content. Oh, here's a good one. So the next news article is Disney Plus confirms Marvel's WandaVision is coming in 2020. So this is one of those other probably bigger properties to get people subscribed onto Disney Plus streaming service for a while to watch the show. WandaVision will be coming in 2020, so that's a really good thing. So we'll have, according to Disney Plus so far, The Mandalorian season 2 and WandaVision in 2020. And I think WandaVision will be a big show. Well, the show's got a movie-sized budget for the show, and the visual effects will be on point. Hopefully the story's on point. But my most anticipated show for Disney Plus right now, for Marvel stuff anyway, is WandaVision, due to, I believe they reported that this will lead into Doctor Strange movie Multiverse of Madness. And it was earlier reported that it would come out in 2021, but it seems like it's been fast tracked and it will come out in 2020. So that's a good thing. And it looks like it's guessing that it might debut in November/December probably. And hopefully The Mandalorian releases earlier than that, so they can have a smooth transition between The Mandalorian and WandaVision to keep people onto the streaming service for one of the more big event type shows. And that'll be fun to see how this all plays out. So the next news article we have here is a bunch of movies are mysteriously disappearing from Disney Plus, and here's why. So if you haven't noticed, there seems to be, since day one Disney Plus launch, that some movies have left the Disney Plus service. And if we look back and recall from a statement that Disney made in 2019, they're saying that there will not be a rotating slate of licensed movies each month with Disney Plus. Beloved classics from the Disney Vault will now stream in permanent home, including things like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and everything that was in the Vault. But it seems that that statement was only specifically targeting movies that were in the Disney Vault, and other films outside the Disney Vault, like Home Alone 1 and 2, Pirates of the Caribbean, On Stranger Tides, The Sandlot, Dr. Dolittle, White Wilderness, Garfield, A Tale of Two Kittens, and a few more movies. It seems like they still have contract deals with other companies, so some of these movies will still be rotating in and out of Disney Plus and will appear on other streaming platforms like Stars or HBO or Netflix or something like that, because they still are under contract, and Disney Plus can only show them for so long before they have to rotate them out to go to another platform, because the other platform has a streaming rights. So just be wary that maybe a show that you have for this month might not be there the next month if it's not directly under Disney that was in the Disney Vault. Unfortunately, that's how it's going to play out for pretty much, it seems like, for a few years to come until the contracts run out for the streaming services and can be permanently placed on Disney Plus. So if you don't see a movie that was previously there, now you know that they are on another streaming platform most likely. So the next story is something that I'm very excited for, and I believe that I might have previously reported on it or something along those lines, maybe not. But so we heard news that there might be a secret Star Wars project in the works for Disney Plus. And this news site is reporting that, and this website is reporting that it might be Star Wars Rebels, the sequel series, picking up basically, I guess, where Star Wars Rebels left off with Ezra in the Outer Rim, Ahsoka and Sabine trying to find him. So it might pick up there. I'm not sure where a sequel series for Star Wars Rebels will go, but most likely that's what they set up for it. That Ahsoka and Sabine are going to find Ezra in the Outer Rim. This excites me a lot because I really enjoyed Star Wars Rebels, and if this is the secret project, they're saying that it's already in development right now. I'm really excited to see what they can do on Disney Plus, and I think they started nailing the feeling of the show really with the later seasons, and I'm really excited to see what they do. So if you're looking forward to more Star Wars content, and hopefully that this rumor that a secret Star Wars project is in the work for Disney Plus that they have not announced, hopefully it might be Star Wars Rebels sequel series, and I would be really happy for that. And if you're looking forward to that, then this might be something to look at coming down the line. So that was it for Disney Plus news. Now we're going into Apple TV Plus news, and one of the articles that really caught my attention was this article that Apple TV Plus has a contract with the person who brought you Game of Thrones. And the person who brought you Game of Thrones was the HBO chief, Richard Pelliper, I believe. And his production company, Eden Productions, are now signed to make movies, documentaries, and TV shows for Apple TV Plus. So it seems like he's moved over there, and this is going to be a really interesting development to see what he can bring to the table for Apple TV Plus in terms of shows. If we're going to get more type of fantasy type knights and shields and stuff like that type shows, or if we're going to get more fantasy shows, or what he's going to bring. It's going to be very interesting to see what he can bring to Apple TV Plus to make it more popular. And I can't wait to see what his production company and he comes up with for Apple TV Plus. So this is something to look forward to down the line for Apple TV Plus, to see what they can produce for them. I'm excited for this. I hope y'all are excited for this. If not, that's fine, but it just gives opportunity for Apple TV Plus to really make something big. And after losing J.J. Abrams, this is, I think, a really nice pickup, even though it's probably not as big as J.J. Abrams and his company Bad Robot. I think this is still a really great pickup for Apple TV Plus to bring into the lineup of creators to make things for them. So looking forward to it. So Apple TV Plus news is over. That's the only article I could find. So now we're going into HBO Max news, and the news article I found for them is that Friends goes dark on Netflix with 5 months streaming lull before HBO Max. So if you haven't realized, Friends is now gone off of Netflix, but it seems like they have to wait 5 months before HBO Max can get it on their platform. Basically, when HBO Max starts up in May, it will reappear, but that's still 5 months that you have to wait without HBO Max. So I'm guessing you can still watch it on other platforms, maybe like on TBS or something like that, or any place that it's still on primarily cable. I guess you can still watch it, but as far as streaming goes, it will not be available until HBO Max starts up. So just be aware of that. So that was it for HBO Max news. Now we'll go to Peacock news. So the news article I found is that for Saved by the Bell, Josie Tota has been cast as lead in Peacock reboot. For Saved by the Bell reboot, she will be the new leading woman on the show. She will play a cheerleader named Lexi in the Saved by the Bell sequel series coming to NBC, upcoming streaming service Peacock. Lexi is described as beautiful, sharp-tongued, and the most popular girl at Bayside High, who is both admired and feared by the fellow students. So if you're a fan of Josie Tota, I know she was on a show named Champions. I haven't watched it, but I think she's got famous off of that one. I don't really know her film history, but she will also be in the Saved by the Bell sequel series. So if you're like the actress, then there you go. She's in Saved by the Bell reboot as the lead female actress. So she should probably do a good job, it seems like. Hopefully the story for the Saved by the Bell sequel is good, and we'll look forward to see how they portray their characters and how it comes out. But I'm excited to see what they do with it. But that is it for Peacock, and that's all the news I could find for them. So thank you everybody for listening to Swimming in the Stream news edition. Hope y'all have a happy new year. And now we do have a Patreon up, so if you would like to go and support us on Patreon, you can just throw us $1 to support us, and all the proceeds that we get from Patreon will go to helping pay for the cost of the podcast, because it does cost money to keep our podcast up, and just to show support. But hope everybody has a good time, and catch y'all later. Thank you everyone for listening to Swimming in the Stream, and if you want to get into contact with us or leave us feedback, you can reach us on Twitter at S.I.T.S Podcast and Gmail at swimminginthestream@gmail.com. You can now find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you can leave us a review, please do. It would help us out. So catch y'all later.